Very good morning, dear students. Today I am here to begin our literature part. So, as we know, in our last video lecture, we have completed the grammar topic wise. So, for the change, I am going to begin the first one poem of your syllabus that is given in your first unit. Yes, in first one unit, the first one poem is Where the Mind is Without Fear. Where the Mind is Without Fear, which is written by Rabindranath Tagore. So you should know who is Rabindranath Tagore. So look at there on the screen. The image of Rabindranath Tagore is given there, and I hope you all are familiar with him. I suppose this. So, and again, I hope you all know about Rabindranath Tagore, but still, I am going to tell you some information about the poet Rabindranath Tagore. So, first of all, you should know he was born on 7th May 1861 and died on 7th August 1941. He was a Bengali poet, writer, music composer, and painter from the Indian subcontinent. As we know, India is in Indian subcontinent. He reshaped Bengali literature and music. Got it? So this poet Rabindranath Tagore, then again an author of the profoundly sensitive phrase and beautiful verse, that is Gitanjali. He is the author of the collection of poems Gitanjali. And as you know, Gitanjali, for this he was awarded with Nobel Prize. So he became in 1913 the first non-European, not only the Indian, but the first non-European to win the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913. And this Nobel Prize was given to him because of the collection of poems Gitanjali. Got it? So, sometimes he is referred to as the Bard of Bengal. Got it? So, this way you can get information about Rabindranath Tagore. Who was he? He was not only a poet but writer, music composer, painter, so many. Got it? He won the Nobel Prize also. Got it? Then now we are going to see the lines of poems. Got it? Where the Mind is Without Fear by Rabindranath Tagore. So look at here. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever widening thought and action, into that haven of freedom. My father, let my country awake. So, these are the lines of this poem. So, by reading these lines, we get some information about the poem. So, we understand that this poem is originally written in Bengali when India was under the British rule. So, you should know the poem was written when India was ruled by British. Got it? When India was under British rule. Secondly, you will come to know after reading the poem is written in the form of a prayer. So here the poet prays to the Almighty asking for freedom for the country as it was under the British rule. Third thing you will get to know that Tagore also appeals to God for social, educational and economic freedom for the people of India. Social, educational and economic freedom. Got it? Lastly, you will find that got the information about the poem? Got it? So, understood here? The poem is originally written in Bengali, later on translated in English. It was written when India was under British rule. The poem is a prayer. In the form of prayer means it is a prayer to the Almighty. Almighty means the God. Asking for the freedom for the people of his country. He also asked for the social, educational and economic freedom for the people of India. Got it? So now, next. Now we are going to see the poem line by line and its meaning. Okay, Where the Mind is Without Fear by Rabindranath Tagore. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection. So these are few lines. Okay, so now we will see the meanings of these lines. So look at here, the poet begins the poem by saying that the minds of his countrymen should be free from any fear. Look at the meaning. Where the mind is without fear, that means the poet has begun the poem by saying, Hey God, hey Bhagwan, make, means the minds of my countrymen should be free from any fear, means make the minds of my countrymen free from any fear. That means there should not be any kind of fear in the mind of my countrymen. Whatever kind of fear is there, or whatever kind of fear is existed in this world, there should not be any kind of fear in the mind of my countrymen. As we know, there are so many phobias, yes, around us. So here he says, or he begins the poem by saying this, or he prays the God to make free his people from fear. Make free his people means his countrymen, from fear. And again he asks, held their head high. That means here again he asks the God. What he is asking? He asks or request or praise the God to hold their heads high in the sky in dignity. Means my people should hold their head, should raise their head high, but with dignity. But in dignity. Got it? Means here in the first line the poet prays the God, asks the God to make the mind of his countrymen free from any fear. Secondly, he asks the God to make them free so that they could hold their head, high in dignity. Got the meaning of first two lines? Not two, but one line. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. Now the next line, where knowledge is free. So here the poet is again asking the God to create such a place or such a country where knowledge should be free. And every countryman, even a single person should be allowed to acquire knowledge. That means every man should get education, should get knowledge without paying a single penny. Getting getting the meaning of the poems, getting the meaning of the lines. So look at there, the meaning of second line, where knowledge is free, means here the poet asks the god to create such a country or such a place where knowledge, education should be free for everyone. Everyone who is living in this world or in this country should be allowed to get a knowledge without paying single penny. Got it? There should not be any burden on person or on people to get knowledge. That must be free for everyone. Got it? Then in the third line, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. So look at here. What does the poet say here? Here the poet says people should be united and the world should not be broken up into small pieces. Got it? There should be no division of people based on religion, caste, creed, color, race, or any such prejudices. Got it? So here you can understand this pieces into pieces, fragments means pieces, tukdo mein. Yes, narrow domestic walls means what? Division of people, लोगों का टुकड़ा करना, division of people on the basis of religion, caste, creed, color, race and any other. This means narrow domestic walls. So here the poet appeals the god. The poet appeals the god to create such a place where people of my country should be united. All people, all countrymen should be united and the world should not be broken up. Means as we know today, the world has been broken up into various pieces in the name of God or whatever, in the name of caste or religion, whatever. Look at there, India, Pakistan, America, Europe, then America, Australia, various continents are there. And again these continents are divided into countries. Countries are divided into states. States are divided into districts, then talukas and then whatever. Yes, so this way the world has been broken up into small pieces. So here the poet appeals the god to create such a place where the world should not be broken up. It should not be divided into small pieces like these, as I told you now. And there these people should not be divided on the basis or based on religion, caste, creed, color, race or any other such prejudices. As we know now, white, black, yes, Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, various races, castes, creed and religions are there. Rich, poor, middle, many divisions are there in our society or in our country or in the world. Yes, so here the poet Rabindranath Tagore asked the god to create such a place where the world has not been broken up into pieces by narrow domestic walls. By narrow domestic walls means on the basis of religion, caste, creed, color, race or any other prejudices. Got it? Got the meaning of this? Then he says where words come out from the depth of heart, means depth of truth. That means depth of heart. So here the poet says create such a place where Every people speak the truth sincerely. Got it? Speak the truth sincerely with the depth of heart. With the depth of heart. That means the words which are coming out from the mouth, they should be come out from their heart with sincerity, with honesty. As we know, very malice nature people we find, cunning people, shrewd people, wicked people are around us. So here the poet says, as the world is full with such wicked, cunning, and shrewd people, so there should not be such people around us in this world. Every man should be sober. Every man should be honest and sincere. Every man of this world. And that's why here the poet says, create such a place, or he wants such a country where people speak the truth sincerely, with the words coming from the depth of their heart. Got it? Means with sincerity, with honesty, without any malice. Got it? So then, got the meaning of this line, where words come out from the depth of heart? That means the poet wants a country or a place where people speak the words with sincerity, with honesty, from the depth of their hearts. Got it? Then, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection. Where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection. Means here again the poet asks the God for a place where, ask the God for the place where, or for the country where everyone should work hard. Everyone should work hard to reach their goal, and they should continuously strive towards perfection. Means what does the poet is asking? What does the poet ask? The poet asks the God to create such a place or his country where everyone is hard working. Everyone believes in perseverance. Means he wants such a place where everyone, every country, man of his country should be hard worker. And they always do hard work to achieve their goal, to reach to their destination, to reach to their destiny. Means reach to their goal, their aim, whatever they have in their life. And again here he says they should continuously strive. Strive means hard work. Okay. Stretches means doing their work like hard work. Okay. Towards perfection. Yes, means here the poet says, I want the place where everyone should continuously strive towards perfection, to get perfection in their skill, to get perfection in their talent, and to get their goal. So I want such a place, or he wants to create such a place. Means he asks the God to create such a place where everyone is striving hard. Got it? Then in the next lines, the poet, look at there, the meaning, the lines of the remaining lines, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit. So look at the meaning of this. Here the poet says he wants such a place where, or he wants such a place where the clear stream of reason means the logical thinking or reason, logical thinking, yes, scientific attitude. Clear stream of reason means scientific attitude or logical thinking, or what you can say, the thinking with reason. As we know, stream means what? अ काइंड ऑफ रिवर, एक रिवर का जो छोटा झरना होता है उसे हम कहते हैं स्ट्रीम, यस। लेकिन यहाँ स्ट्रीम को कंपेयर किससे किया है, रीजन से। रीजन सोच मतलब थिंकिंग, वी शुड से लॉजिकल थिंकिंग. So what you are finding here, and again look at the into the dreary desert sand of dead habit. Dreary desert sand, as we know desert, yes, and dead habit. Dead habit, again here the poet has compared the prejudices, the false beliefs, again the superstitious beliefs, yes. Here the poet has compared these superstitious beliefs or blind faith or the prejudices with dead habit, which are harmful, with the dreary desert. Here the poet has compared these to the dreary desert, which are harmful. So look at here, he then compares logical thinking or reason to a clear stream, as I told you, and the old traditional rituals, customs that are harmful to the dreary desert sand of dead habit. As I told you now, two comparisons are there in this line. First one is clear stream of reason is compared to logical thinking, yes, and second one is the old traditional rituals, customs, prejudices, superstitious beliefs, yes. So these are compared to the dreary desert sand of dead habit. So in this way two comparisons are there in this line. So what does the poet want to say here with these comparisons? So here by doing the comparison, the poet says that the reasoning ability of people, reasoning ability, look at there, the clear stream of reason means the poet wants a place or a country where the reasoning ability of people should not be lost. Reasoning ability of people, the clear stream of reason has not lost means the reasoning ability of people of his country should not lost or overshadowed by the dreary desert sand of dead habit. That means into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, that means by superstitious beliefs and prejudices. Got it? Means here poet wants a place or a country where the reasoning ability of his people should not lost by the prejudices, superstitious beliefs, or the old traditional rituals or the customs that are harmful. That means here his countrymen should be led by rational thinking and not by any old beliefs that are harmful. So here the poet appeals the God to create a country where his countrymen should be led by rational thinking, logical thinking, got it, scientific attitude, and they should not be led by any old beliefs that are harmful. And any old beliefs means these rituals, customs, superstitious beliefs, prejudices. So these are harmful. So they should not be led by these beliefs, old beliefs. Got it? Understood the meaning of these lines? Now the next one, where the mind is led forward by you, by thee means it is old English word, archaic English, and it means you. So where the mind is led by you into ever widening thought and action. So look at here in line 9 and 10th, where the mind is led forward by you into ever widening thought and action. The poet wants the minds of his countrymen to be led forward by the Almighty, by you means the God Almighty, so that they broaden their outlook, thoughts and actions. It means here the poet wants that his people should be generous in thought and open-minded. Got it here? So look at the meaning again of line number 9th and 10th. So here the poet appeals the God to lead his countrymen, appeals the God, or he wants the mind of his countrymen, means the mind, the thinking of his people, the people of his country should be led forward. Should be led forward means should be or should led by or should be led by, or the God should lead them. God should lead them. Why? So that, ताकि, मतलब भगवान ने उसके व्यक्तियों को क्या करना चाहिए, लीड करना चाहिए, ताकि दे ब्रॉडन देयर आउटलुक, ताकि वो अपने आउटलुक को, थॉट को और एक्शंस को क्या कर सके, ब्रॉड कर सके. दे शुड ब्रॉड देयर आउटलुक, थॉट्स एंड एक्शंस. Why the poet wants his people to be led by God? The poet wants his people to be led by God because he wants that his people should broad their outlook, thoughts and actions, and they should be generous in thought and they should become open-minded. So with this hope, the poet wanted his people to be led by the God. Got it? And then in the last line, into that haven of freedom, my father, let my country awake. Here in the last line, the poet addresses the God as his father, as my father. That means here he called the God directly his father and asked him to awaken his country into a haven of freedom. So look at here, at last he put the concept of haven of freedom. Haven of freedom means what? Haven of freedom means where there is total freedom of good thoughts, good words and good habits, good actions. Got it here, the meaning of haven of freedom? Haven of freedom means what? Haven, according to the poet, the haven of freedom means the place where there is total freedom of good thoughts, good words and good actions. So this place is called here haven of freedom. So at last, and in the last line, the poet addresses the God his father and asks the God to awaken his people, to lead his people into this haven of freedom, into this haven of freedom. So here he asks his people to lead them to the haven of freedom. Got it? So in this way, the poem is completed here. In our next lecture, we will see the poetic devices which are used here in this poem, throughout the poem, in this poem or throughout the poem. What are the poetic devices are used here? And second thing, we will see how to write an appreciation of the poem, as it is asked in the board examination for 5 marks. Got it? So I hope you all have understood the poem very well. So with this hope, I stop here and bid you goodbye. So see you in our next video lecture. Okay, bye bye. See you. Do the reading of these lines and the meanings, okay, more times, or 3 or 4 times, so that it will be easy for you to understand it again better. Okay, bye bye. See you, dear.